this is a man that's pushing 60 who's messing with a girl that's barely old enough to drink. Because everybody skipped over that. What you doing messing with with people young enough to be your grandchildren, Hoss? And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m. And he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him. And she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him. I would have to agree with Candace Owens. It's clearly a shakedown. But what I actually thought was, how does nobody see what they're trying to do? Because this is pure distraction. Pure.
From what?
And why is nobody looking at the lineup?
Jaguar Wright is back at it again. And this time, she's lighting up the internet with bombshell claims about Shannon Sharpe. She's not holding back, calling out the former NFL star and podcast host for allegedly playing both sides in the game. Just when Club Shay Shay was becoming the go-to spot for raw and real interviews, especially after that explosive sit-down with Cat Williams, Jaguar claims Shannon was already knee-deep in industry secrets. According to her, right after that viral moment with Cat, some powerful folks reached out to Shannon, inviting him into their exclusive inner circle. And he didn't hesitate.
I want to be daddy. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. And then she says, I want you to tie me up like this in a daddy. And you can see when these text messages were released, you can see it says like from Gabby to owner. So it's painting a picture that their relationship was giving that, there was role play and everything that were happening. Now,
it was a very unfortunate situation.
It's
horrible situation.
She says he joined up fast. But things took a wild turn when his SA lawsuit hit the news. And here's the jaw dropper. Reports say Shannon refused to rewatch the explicit BDSM tapes he made with his much younger ex, 20-year-old Gabriela Zuniga, saying they were too disturbing to sit through.
A lot of people were angry at Shannon Sharpe after his Cat Williams 2024 God Ain't Playing With Y'all interview. A lot of people were angry with him. Matter of fact, there's a lot more people who reached out to him after Cat. He turned away because he couldn't take the heat. Is everyone forgetting that? And Cat warned him, they're gonna come for you. Monique came after that, told him, they about to get you. You better watch who you kicking it with. She told him the kindest, most polite way possible.
Wait a minute. So he was fine doing all that on camera when he was 60 years old, but now he suddenly can't stomach it. Come on now. For those who missed it, Jaguar had already dropped hints in a past interview, saying Shannon wrecked his own image and lost multiple major deals. One of those, a $100 million podcast deal he was this close to sealing. Then came the lawsuit. Gabriella, who was just 20 at the time, accused Shannon of taking their BDSM relationship way too far, alleging he crossed serious lines and got physical in ways she never agreed to. Let's be clear, Shannon is a big, strong 60-year-old man, and Gabriella, a small, young woman fresh into adulthood.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
That power difference is real, and now it's at the center of a legal firestorm. From the jump, this whole situation is looking real bad for Shannon Sharpe. People are seriously side-eyeing a man in his 60s for getting involved in BDSM with a girl barely in her 20s, young enough to be his granddaughter. According to her, things got dangerous fast. She says Shannon got violent on several occasions and even threatened her life after learning she was sharing her live location with family members to stay safe.
And then all of a sudden, he's accidentally going on Instagram, setting up whole corn lives, humiliation ritual, down to the floor. But why is nobody paying attention to? They're talking about money. 10 million offered to be quiet. She asked for 25,000 for the SCX. He wants 100 million for defamation and whoopty-whoopty-woo and all of this. Why is nobody talking about the simple fact that this is a man that's pushing 60 who's messing with a girl that's barely old enough to drink?
It gets even worse. She claims that when she tried to leave him after finding out he was cheating, he totally lost it. That's when, according to her, the assaults began. And she says they happened more than once, with the last one allegedly going down in January this year. Now, of course, Shannon and his legal team clapped back hard, denying everything. He claimed their entire relationship was consensual, all part of a BDM lifestyle they both agreed to. But then he says, things changed.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Daddy.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look. You did what the shit did to me.
Okay, well...
Gabriella started demanding more and more money, allegedly asking him to pay $25,000 per cheek. And when he said no, that's when he says she started scheming, secretly filming their private moments and editing them to make him look like the villain. Shannon's camp also leaked messages where Gabriella allegedly asked him to choke her and even said she wanted him to get her pregnant because she wanted a mixed-race baby.
Because everybody skipped over that. This man has children older than this girl. Am I lying?
His daughters are 32, son is 30.
And he keeps getting online. And somebody want to apologize to my family. No, you don't. Because you would stop. You got busted out. You did whatever you did on Instagram. And is everyone forgetting that he was just recently tied to the whole bride and with Casanat and Skip Bayless? Is everybody forgetting that just happened just a couple months ago? OnlyFans? You're negotiating $150 million big deal for your podcast outlets and all of that, which, by the way, was all set up for you by the NFL. Oh, I'm sorry. Who did Sean Carter work for?
But not everyone bought that story. Enter baby Buzz B. He wasn't having it and fired back with claims of his own. He exposed Shannon for allegedly trying to sweep everything under the rug with hush money, offering Gabriella a jaw-dropping $10 million to stay quiet when the lawsuit talk first started. But she wasn't playing. She refused the offer and instead turned to Buzz B for help filing a massive $50 million lawsuit.
I mean, last time I checked, Mr. Carter works for the NFL, and he was the one that got real smart Black Americans who were boycotting the NFL to stop giving the NFL their money. He was able to make all of that happen. I think we're past bending a knee. And then all of a sudden, Black people giving their money back to the NFL again? Those blackouts were for real, and it was costing the NFL millions. Want to know what else I also find funny? That he did that interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shack. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house.
Yeah, this saga's far from over. Gabriella stood her ground and went through with filing the case instead of staying quiet. Her lawyer, Tony, proudly backed her up, saying, "I didn't chase her down or go after Shannon. I just stood by her side, and he knows that." Then things got even more intense.
And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him. And she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him. Kind of like how she approached that old friend of his when he said that he was at the party and the little people was there and she asked him, "Isn't this sexy?"
Tony dropped an audio recording where Gabriella can be heard pleading with Shannon to stop playing mind games. And Shannon straight up replied by threatening to choke her the next time they met.
I mean, last time I checked, Mr. Carter works for the NFL, and he was the one that got real smart Black Americans who were boycotting the NFL to stop giving the NFL their money. He was able to make all of that happen. I think we're past bending a knee. And then all of a sudden, Black people giving their money back to the NFL again? Those blackouts were for real, and it was costing the NFL millions. Want to know what else I also find funny? That he did that interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shay. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house.
But that wasn't the end of the receipts. Tony also posted a chilling message Gabriella allegedly sent to Shannon after one of their encounters, where she said, "I cried when you left because I begged you to put a cover on and not do that to my eye, and you didn't. I don't care about our history. No means no, Shannon. I don't even know how to process this." People were shocked, and naturally the internet started calling for Jaguar Wright to weigh in and spill what she knew. And trust, she came with facts.
And how, after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there, and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him, and she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was, and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him, kind of like how she approached that old friend of his when he said that he was at the party and the little people was there, and she asked him, "Isn't this sexy?"
At first, some thought maybe she'd side with Shannon, especially since all this blew up right when his career was about to level up with that $100 million podcast deal. But nope, Jaguar wasn't playing nice. She came through with crazy claims about Shannon that had folks' jaws on the floor. According to her, Shannon is knee-deep in mess because of his own actions. She said he had no business getting mixed up with a 20-year-old at his fossil age. And apparently he was warned. Jaguar said Monique and Cat Williams both told him straight up the industry was going to come for him if he kept exposing the truth in his interviews. And boom, here we are.
With Busby coming forward as the great champion against all of these evil elite, taking him down would be like the best thing in the world, wouldn't it? For them, if they can get him in one case where they can prove that it was a shakedown, that it was a this, that it was a that takes Busby out the Diddy game, don't it?
But instead of taking the warning seriously, Shannon went headfirst into the mix with some seriously shady industry power players. And now, they're working overtime to tear him down. According to Jaguar Wright, the same big names that helped him land that $100 million podcast deal, yeah, we're talking the NFL and even Jay-Z, are the same ones snatching it back in the most humiliating way possible. And Jaguar didn't stop there.
It sounds like he's doing whatever the white man tell him to do to throw off the Diddy trial. This ain't nothing but another distraction. That girl needs some serious counseling, and her parents need to get involved before she ends up like Bianca Censura. And Shannon Sharpe needs to be canceled. Period.
Yeah,
Not
what do you say?
Because of what he's done. Not because of what he's done, but because of what he's really trying to do. He's trying to derail this Diddy trial. He's trying to make sure that the Jigga Man don't get caught up in this RICO. He's doing his portion for the Illuminati, in my opinion. Have we not noticed the kind of interviews he's been doing this year? He's done at least 3 interviews with 3 different people that got up there over there with the Shay Shay talking about what no freak off. Didn't he just bring Amber Rose up there? A goof of thirsty ass, running around with an airbrush makeup kit and a pocketbook to take away exactly how much she's aged in real life.
She claimed the real reason Shannon came after Tony Busby so hard was because the industry's scared of Tony. According to her, He's the only one really coming for the creeps running things behind the scenes. And they want him silenced. Fast. But get this, Jaguar even said that some industry execs asked Shannon to purposely get caught up in this mess, all to distract the public from the upcoming Diddy trial. And in return, they promised him an even bigger deal once the smoke clears. Bigger than that already insane $100 million podcast contract. Wild. Whew.
More distraction. And they gotta tap his ass in for another humiliation ritual because they're still pissed off at him about letting Cat up there do what he did. And that's how I feel about it, and that's all that is.
This whole situation is a tornado of scandal. And one thing we know about Jaguar, she's gonna drop some serious heat every time she opens her mouth. Now, we're not saying everything she claimed is 100% confirmed, but one thing's for sure, it's got everybody talking. Like this person who said Shannon was way too old to fall for the setup, that girl could have been his daughter, what a mess. Or another who added, Kat tried to warn him, Monique told him straight up, go date someone your own age and stop chasing these young girls. But he didn't listen. And now look where he is. Man, it's messy all around. But now I really want to hear from you. What do you think about Jaguar dragging Shannon and exposing his ties to these industry giants? And do you think he's being used as a distraction from the Diddy situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs the tea. And click right here to catch the next messy deep dive. See you in the next one.